Alright, I really don't want to do this whole vlog thing, but I'm going to have to, I guess. I really want to document my journey, building my business and things like that. And obviously I can't do that if I'm not filming a lot more. So, but yeah, the rest of the day is pretty slow. I got a few sales calls I got to get on. I think I'm going to go to the gym a little bit later. And then other than that, I have some small building things. I'm learning a few new skills. Let me show you the books I'm reading right now. I'm learning a few skills. So right now, I'm reading Zig Ziglar, Secret of Closing a Sale. This is Andy Elliott's Objections book. See, I got a few more. Jordan Belfort, Way of the Wolf. If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, this is like the real Wolf of Wall Street in real life. So not Leonardo DiCaprio, but the real Jordan Belfort. Has a book on straight line selling. This is Gary Vee. If you're like anything in the entrepreneurship space, I'm sure you know who Gary Vee is. It's this guy right down here. He's awesome. He's really cool. I haven't read his book yet, but I really like what he does and what he stands for. So I'm going to do that. And then I've read these a few times now. This is Alex Hormozy's $100 million series. So this is $100 million offers and then $100 million leads as well. Here's a third one coming out, $100 million sales. And I read these, I don't know, 5 times through both probably. But I never really had like a major offer. And now I have this high ticket coaching thing. So I'm going to go through them again so that I can regain all the information and actually be able to apply it to something, because from this point back, like, I haven't had an actual offer, or I'm not actually selling anything major. So even though this taught me a lot about business, I didn't have anything to like directly apply it to now. But now I do. So yeah, those are the 5, 6, whatever sets of books I'm reading right now. I try to keep like a good amount of business books in my rotation. So I'm always learning a new skill. And if it's not a book, it's a course. If it's not a course, it's some kind of online education, because I dropped out of college, but I never wanted to stop pursuing like education and stop bettering like my brain and like furthering my knowledge with all of this stuff, because I didn't drop out of college because I didn't want to learn anymore. I dropped out of college because it wasn't the right route for me. So as a young entrepreneur, it's like you have to take accountability for your future, because there's no one else coming to save you. There's no one else here. There's no one else is going to make your dream come true for you. So especially like with me, I have people that rely on me, especially like I'm married, so I have a wife. I have a future to think about. And if I'm not putting the work in and I'm not bettering myself, then my future stands no chance, right? So it's all on my shoulders, and so it's my responsibility to learn, to always be like furthering my knowledge, furthering my skills, and continue building out the business. Because if I get stagnant and get lazy, my future is like at a major risk of not going anywhere. And with a wife, with a family that I want to have someday, that's just not going to work. So I got to keep putting the work in and keep bettering myself. But yeah, these are the books that I'm reading right now. I'm going to try to show more of that as I go as well. The stuff that I'm investing in and the stuff that I'm learning, because I think that could help a lot of other people as well. Because I don't necessarily like find these from like videos or anything like that. It's a lot of research on my end to figure out like what the best books are to read, you know, where's the best information and how can I get it. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys as well as I continue doing all this. But yeah, other than that, we do have a trip coming up. So in like 10 days or so, we're headed out to South Korea, Taiwan, and then Okinawa in Japan. So we're kind of bouncing around Asia a little bit. And I haven't planned a single thing, like not even a little bit. So I haven't even looked at anything to do in any of the countries. So I got to plan that as well. So I might start looking at some stuff today, which is pretty early for me actually. I usually start planning the trips around like the week before, or not even like the week of sometimes. So I might get ahead on that and start planning. You know, that might sound insane, but I don't have, we travel too much for me to have like weeks and weeks and weeks to plan. So I've gotten really good at just like planning things really fast and effective and actually like doing the stuff that I still want to do. I might show you guys a little bit of that too as I plan the trip, how I do that. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this more. I already feel like better about it now that I'm starting it. And it doesn't have to be the super corny thing where I'm like, I don't know, Jack Doherty or something. So I just got to figure out my style, figure out the way that I want to do it. And then, yeah, go from there. All right, so I'm 20 years old and I just launched my high ticket coaching. The last year or so, we've been traveling full time. I took my first trip with my wife last June. So it's been it's been just under a year that we've been traveling full time. And by the 6-month mark, we crossed 6 figures in content creation. So Now it's been about 11 months or so, and I'm just now starting to teach other people how to get paid to travel. So basically what we do is we go out, and every place that we go, we shoot for hotels, resorts, travel companies, rental car companies, camper van companies, luggage companies, like anything to do with travel, we'll shoot for them, and then they pay us, and then we also get that for free. So say that we shoot for a camper van company, we get the camper, we get money, and then our trip's paid for, plus we get money on top of it. So now we're showing other people how to do that same thing, so everything that goes into it. So I formed a curriculum based on, like, we're teaching A to Z, everything that you need to know to make money traveling the world, and I designed it in a way that anybody at any skill level can do it. So whether you're just starting out, you've never made content before, or whether you're an advanced creator, I created it so that anybody can get to where I am now, which is a 6-figure travel creator, right? So I go in depth on how to create content, the actual technical side of things. So for people that have never created content before, and then from there, now that you know how to create content, the growth and exposure. So how do you craft a viral video? How do you actually grow your social media? How do you grow your personal brand? So that side of things. And then from there, now that you have that personal brand, how do you monetize it? How do you make money? So I lay out every single way possible to make money through content creation. And then from there, now that you have that monetization blueprint, it's the landing and finding and landing high-paying clients. So this is like how I've made all my money. So this is the sales and outreach process behind how I land and find these different clients, the hotels, the resorts, the travel companies, things like that. And this is like the juiciest part of the whole program. So for me, that's what I'm most excited about, because that's where I've made all my money. And then from there, it's putting it all together. So now that you have that content creation, now that you've built your personal brand, now that you know how to monetize that brand, where do you go from there? Now that you have this foundation, how do you put it all together, and how do you build on that foundation that you just built? And then there's some other stuff in there as well, like general business advice. So how to do taxes, how to set up your business since you're going to be like a solo operating self-employed creator. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what I'm doing. So I dropped out of college 2 years ago. I got married a year ago. And then since we got married, we've been traveling the world full time. So my life has like flown by, but I'm like nowhere close to where I want to be. I mean, I have massive goals. Right now I'm driving a Tesla Model 3 Performance, which like 2 years ago, this was like my dream car, like to get a Tesla. But my goals are so much bigger now. I mean, I know they're always going to keep moving, but I have my eyes on like the biggest goals. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that. And honestly, I don't usually like to share my goals out loud. I have a lot more in-depth goals that I won't share with anybody, because I feel like you get that same dopamine from telling people about your goals than actually doing them. I bought this $300 watch when I was in Switzerland as just like a benchmark for my first sale. So when I'm actually like clearing these 6-7 figure months, I'm gonna be able to have a benchmark and like a memory piece for my first sale. And then I'll be able to compare it to like, the $100,000 watch that I'll be able to compare to this $200 watch that commemorates my first sale. So just like small things like that. This is like my celebration for my first sale. But I'm gonna wear it every single day to remind myself that I'm not where I wanna be yet. So I can look down at my wrist and say I have a $300 watch on, I want a $100,000 watch. There's a huge gap between where I am and where I wanna be. And the only thing that gets me there is just continue to putting my head down and continue working. So like I can't just like show up and be in an iced out AP, right? Like I gotta put the work in to achieve my dreams. But yeah, anyways, enough yapping. I'm headed to the chiropractor right now. I don't go to the chiropractor that often, but I've been having back issues. Obviously, when you sit in a plane seat, like as often as I do, and like travel's really heavy on your body, so I need to be taking better care of myself anyways. But for now, I'm headed to the chiropractor to see if I can get this worked out of my back. I don't know what's going on, and then I'm gonna run by the grocery store. And then by the time I get back, I'll have some sales meetings and some other things like that. So yeah, that was crazy. I guess I had a rib out of place, and that's what was going on with my back, which is insane. My ribs felt totally fine, but I guess it was messing with my back pretty bad. But I'm headed to the grocery store really quick to grab like a quick few things. I've been eating like really good the last few months. I got pretty out of shape after I got married, so I wanted to get back into shape. And I'm getting back into pretty good shape, so I'm excited about it. I'm gonna stick to it. It's really hard while traveling, especially like when I want to try all their like local food and stuff. So I end up eating a lot, but I've been doing really good the last few trips, and overall just feeling a lot healthier and a lot more like capable and like mentally clear, because I get pretty foggy when I'm eating bad. My mental goes down. Not like mental health. I don't have any mental health issues. Like I've never had it all, but like the clarity and like I don't know, I'm just not as sharp when I'm eating like junkier foods. I just feel like foggier, obviously, man. I just ran a red light. But yeah, my days have been a little bit slower the last few days because of my back's been hurting so bad, and I honestly can't just like function very well when I'm in a lot of pain. But so that's why I really want to prioritize the chiropractor this morning. Hopefully that gets better. But anytime I'm home, my days are usually like packed out from like the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. All I do is sit in my office and work, and I have a very like dedicated plan for the day of everything I'm going to get done every single day. Um, because we're only home for whatever 10, 14 days a month with all the traveling, I really try to like lock in and get as much done when I'm home, because obviously we work when we're gone, but there's something different about being able to like lock in your office all day and just focus on building the business without distractions. You know, obviously when you get in a momentum of working all day, you get a lot more done. And yeah, I work when we're gone. I get stuff done. I get on sales calls. I edit content. Obviously, I'm always working, even when we're gone, but I don't get to just like lock in and have all day with no distractions like I do when I'm home. So I really try to focus on getting that stuff done when I'm home. And I'll try to go over a little bit later how I schedule out my days and how I make sure I'm getting actual work done and not just like working in my office. Because I think that's really important. A lot of, especially in the entrepreneurship space, pretend like a lot of people pretend like they're like slaving nonstop 24 hours a day, whatever. There's a lot of downtime as entrepreneurs. Like there's no getting around the fact that our life has a lot more freedom, and that's why we do what we do. But yeah, it's really hard work, and there's a lot of time that goes into it. And you can ask anybody in my life. All I do is sit in my office and work. But there's a difference between sitting down in your office and working and like legitimately, genuinely getting work done. So I'm gonna go over later like exactly how I schedule that out and how I make sure that we're getting real quality work done and not just like sitting down there scrolling through reels or like whatever, just like pretending like we're working. So I'm gonna go over that a little bit later. But I'm gonna run in the store and grab, literally just grabbing some lettuce. I have everything I need except I want to try something different for my meals today. So I just want to talk about something for a minute, because if you want something bad enough, it has to be all you ever think about. It has to literally like keep you up at night. It has to fully encompass your brain, and you have to visualize it. You have to be looking at it all day. If you have big ambitious goals, you need to keep it right in front of your face. You need to be thinking about it all the time. It has to kill you inside that you're not there yet. This is what I look at all day right here. I have a vision board on my computer, and it's all the things that I want someday. And I'm super far away from all of them, but I have to keep them on the top of my head, knowing that I have to work harder every single day. If I ever want to achieve any of this stuff right here, I have to continue working harder. Look, I look at this. This is sitting on my desk. I look at this all day, every day. It's a Lamborghini key. You know how far I am from owning a Lamborghini? I am so far from owning a Lamborghini, but I have to keep it in front of my eyes. I have to be thinking about it all day. It has to make me mad looking at that, knowing that I'm so far from owning it that I have to sit down and put my head down and continue working hard, or I'll never achieve my goals. I look at that and it should make you mad looking at the things that you want someday. It should just eat you up inside that you're not there yet, and then that is what motivates you to continue working. And yeah, your entire motivation shouldn't just be physical things, but you need to pick things in your head that you can chase after, and if you're not there yet, it should make you mad. Keep it in the front of your head, keep it in front of your eyes, and visualize it. Look at it all day, every day. And I promise you can do anything that you put your mind to. Literally anything in this life is possible as long as you put the work in and you allow enough time for it to happen. Anything is possible, but you have to visualize it. You have to have it in your head ahead of time, or you're not working towards anything. How do you know what you're working towards? Like, what's the point of working hard if you have no goals to do anything with your life when you make it? I mean, like, yeah, there's obviously not some end point where you're like, you achieved, I don't know, like a finish line. Yeah, of course there's always gonna be something more that you want. There's always gonna be the next thing. And obviously you need to be grateful for the things that you have. Like, don't feel like what you have is never enough and you're always chasing the next thing. Be grateful for what you have, but I have huge goals to reach even higher and higher things in life, and it's always going to keep pushing further, but that's just going to give me motivation. That means I'm never going to lose motivation or something to chase to allow me to continue getting better, growing my business, making more money, helping more people. So yeah, obviously the whole motivation isn't just this material stuff, but I need something that I can physically like look at and have a goal in my brain to continue motivating me to work towards something. So I would suggest picking goals, picking things in mind, even if they're huge and seem super unrealistic. you just have to get through your head anything's possible. So pick the biggest things that you could possibly want, and of course someday they're going to get even bigger, but pick the biggest things you want and work towards them, because you have to work so much harder to achieve that. You know, if you have small goals, you can achieve that in small goals with a lot less work. But if you have huge goals, then it's going to take a massive amount of work, and it honestly seems impossible. I'm 20 years old talking about getting a Lamborghini, right? Like that seems super unrealistic. But the fact that I look at it every single day and I stare at this vision board all day, every day, it's literally the background, the wallpaper of my laptop, makes me know that it's gonna make me mad enough over a long time that this isn't my life, that I'm gonna continue working towards it harder and harder and harder and harder and harder until that I reach my goal. This entrepreneur stuff, you have to obsess over it. I mean, it has to be everything that you ever think about. If you want any chance at building something of your own, it has to fully encompass your brain. For my entire life, this entrepreneur mindset has been built in me. It's like kind of funny when I think back about like my younger childhood. I always had things like this in my life that just, it should have been signs that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I mean, when I was 10 years old, I thought I had a karate class, right? Like I thought I knew karate, even though I had never learned karate. But in my brain, I thought I knew karate. So then I was like, I have a best idea. I'm going to start a business. I'm 10 years old, maybe 10, 11, somewhere in there. I'm going to start a business and I'm going to teach other kids karate, right? So I was going to be a karate teacher in my parents' backyard. So I made these little flyers and it said Kai's karate class. My name's Malachi, so Kai's karate class. And I made this whole like advertisement basically, and I went and nailed them into all the trees in our neighborhood. I put them underneath the doormats of like our neighbors with our address and everything. And I was literally like trying to run a business, and thinking about it now, it's hilarious that I basically advertised to our whole neighborhood about my business, and I'm 10 years old. But thinking back now, it's like so funny to me that ever since I was a little kid, I've had this entrepreneur mindset to build something of my own and to make something real happen. And then from there, I mean, it never stopped. When I was 16 years old, I launched a clothing brand, and you know, now I don't really do anything with it. It's not really a thing anymore, but at the time, like, I just wanted to build a company. I wanted to build something of my own that could make a difference, that could help people. And then I just never wanted to work for somebody else. I didn't want to slave away at a 9 to 5. I didn't want to go through college and get a normal job. I didn't want to be normal. I just wanted to be different. I wanted to craft something of my own. My whole life, all I've ever wanted was to build something that I felt like was mine, that nobody handed me, that nobody, you know, I didn't want to just spend my life making money for other people. And I think that's what a lot of people do is, you know, you go to college, you graduate, you work a 9 to 5, and then from there you're just forever enslaved to making somebody else money. And you spend your whole life, like hours and hours and hours, just putting dollars in other people's pocket. Like that just doesn't sound fun to me. I would rather build something of my own and keep all the money that I make, and you know, actually see the results of the work that I put in. And it's not just like trading time for money anymore. So I don't know, I've just always had this like ambition in my heart to like build something of my own. I mean, ever since I was a little kid. So now you can imagine how I feel now when I'm actually seeing success. You know, I'm actually seeing a lot of money come through this, and I'm building the life of my dreams. You could probably imagine how that makes me feel, and like the confidence that I have inside after like an entire lifetime of trying to make this work, and now it's finally starting to work. So I'm just so grateful for the life that I get to live. I know that it was a result of the work that I've put in, and it's still like taking a lot more work to get to where I want to go next. But I'm just grateful for everything that I get to do, the life that I get to live, the places that I get to see on a daily basis, and just like the luxuries that I get to enjoy. You know, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a Lamborghini. I don't have an AP. But I'm very well taken care of. My wife is very well taken care of. We have nice things. And honestly, we have full financial freedom. And that's like the best thing that I could ask for anyways. But as we build this out and as our company grows and as all of this just like evolves, I really wanted to document this journey. So I'm grateful for this right here alone that I even have. Even if I never used this in a vlog, the fact that I sat down in front of a camera and sort of talked about where I am now is huge for me. And I'm excited to share this journey with you guys, and I'm excited to have all this for my future self as well. All right, I'm about to hop on a sales call, so shouldn't be too long, but a few minutes onboarding into my program. So what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
I'm from Slovakia. in the Central Europe.
That's cool, man. So how old are you, and what do you do for work right now?
I'm 19 years old and I work as a warehouse worker in office and sometimes out in the warehouse as well. So uh, I don't know.
Really, there's two options, right? There's the one option is that you stay where you're at right now, you don't go through with this program, and you continue working your job that you don't like, you're not getting paid very much. Or you you bet on yourself, you don't let fear control you, and you take the risk, and you can join the program, and then in a few months from now you can be making extremely good money, 6 figures a year or even more than that, right? um,
Yeah.
and then be able to have the freedom to travel the world, go see the things that you want to see, and not be controlled by, a 9 to 5 factory job. That was kind of a weird call, man. He's from Slovakia. Right when he answered the phone, I was like, not that confident. He was kind of confused because I was trying to get him to put it on his credit card because he said that he hadn't got paid yet, so he didn't have the actual money in his account to join today, enough money. But he was confused, debit card and credit card. He doesn't actually have a credit card, so there was no way to get that out of him there. But sales calls are going better. They're a lot smoother. I'm reading these books, like I said, to get better at it. I was going to hire some closers, but for now, I think I'm just going to work on the skill myself because I need to continue getting better at it. Sales is a great skill to have. So navigating the calls is getting better and smoother, and I'm helping people get to that end point better and making them more confident in my program. Because I'm extremely confident in the product. I took months and months to write it, to shoot it. It wasn't a fast process at all, and it was so I'm genuinely really confident that the product is going to help a lot of people because it's the exact system that I've used to do what I'm doing now. I left nothing out of the program. So I'm really confident in the product, which I think makes it easier for me to sell it to people because I feel like I'm doing them a service by giving them this information. Because if they truly want to do what I'm doing, this is the best way to do it. Obviously, I mean, I'm the one that giving them this system, so I think it's easier to sell something that I'm confident in because I feel like I'm handing them the keys to a better life instead of just it doesn't feel scammy because they're benefiting just as much as me, or if not more. I mean, I'm getting some money back, but they're getting a whole future where they get to make a lot more money than they're paying. So really, I feel like I would be doing them a disservice not to get them this product in their hands, I guess. So that part makes it easier to sell the product, but it's a skill that I'm working on constantly. I'm just trying to figure out all of this stuff. I have a lot of notes on all of these books, and putting these processes into place is just a lot of work, but it's something that I'm really excited about moving forward. Alright, I just finished editing and posting a reel, and now I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about earlier, how I stay productive and how I plan out my days to make sure that everything actually gets done. So it looks a little funny right now, all my highlighters and stuff, but what I do is that every night in bed, I have this notebook, and I write down everything that I need to get done the next day. So this is all my to-do list, and then on the next page next to it, I do a time block. So I learned this from, what is his name? Adrian Purr. He does this time block thing where he writes down every hour of the day, or his time blocks, right? So what I do is I write down every hour of the day, so I wake up all the way through the time I go to sleep, and then I'll block out the time that I need. So for example, I take that to-do list and I run it as my schedule for the next day. So I try to fit as much of my to-do list into the schedule for the next day. So for example, this morning, wake up at 7:30, 8 to 10 was editing reels. So I had a 2-hour block where I edited reels. This kind of switches around throughout the day. Like this morning I woke up and I felt more preparing for I had a vlog today, so I prepared for the vlog. I moved some stuff around, and then my back was really hurting, so I went to the chiropractor a little bit early. So this doesn't have to be set in stone, but this is just a good way to map out your day to where you're not just aimlessly working. So not just sitting at your desk quote unquote working. But then so I had editing reels, and then I have my reading these books and writing notes. Obviously so studying these books was another 2 hours in here. And then I have between 1 and 3 I'm studying and brainstorming for my new content because I'm kind of rebranding my whole all my pages and stuff, so I have 2 hours planned out for that today. And then I have planning my trip in here. So my trip's coming up, and I wanted to set some time aside today to do that. And I even get down to as much as my gym time is bracketed out, and even as silly as 2 hours every day I make sure I spend with my wife. So she gets to choose what we do every day, and most of the time she chooses to play Fortnite. So today we're playing Fortnite for 2 hours, and that seems counterintuitive, but for me, I want to prioritize like personal time with her, and like, cause you know, that's my wife. I want to spend time with her. But if I don't like schedule that out, I'm a very structured person. It just won't happen, cause I'll sit down here at my desk all day and I'll lose track of time. And then like, you know, 3 weeks will go by and we haven't had a date. We haven't hung out. So every single day I give her 2 hours. She chooses whatever she wants to do. And then we do that every single day. So today I literally have scheduled out Fortnite, 2 hours, right? So my whole day is bracketed out in time blocks, and of course they can be shifted around, but it's very structured and it keeps me focused, and it lets me, I don't have to have the thinking involved of like, oh, what should I do next? And yeah, I mean, I think writing a to-do list like in itself is a great way to start getting ahead on your like mental blocks, but taking that one step further, writing the to-do list the night before and making a time block the night before where your day is actually scheduled out like this is a very good success, or a very good recipe for success. And then the other thing that I do is I write down throughout the day. It's called a work diary. So everything that I accomplish, I write down. So then at the end of the day, I look at everything that I got done. It can be big, small. I write down everything positive that I accomplished. So today I'll literally will write down chiropractor, got groceries. Those are positive things. Even though they're small, I'll write down everything I accomplished. At the end of the day, I can look at the list of things and say, am I proud of this day? Is this like, was this a successful work day? And if not, then I can analyze it and go, okay, where was the time wasted then? Because I spent all day in my office. Did I just like, was I sitting on my phone? Was I daydreaming? Like, where did I lose that time, and how can I make my next day more efficient? So it's just like a simple way to keep yourself accountable. So plan ahead with your to-do list, plan ahead with your time block, and then debrief. It's like briefing before and debriefing after of like, okay, this is what I did good, this is what I did bad, this is what I can improve on, and this is how I can make it more efficient for the next day. And then over time, your day is going to be like substantially more like efficient, more productive. So just like keeping metrics in your brain and tracking what you're doing is huge as well. But anyways, I'm about to dive into these books. I haven't got to read it all today. I pushed that back quite a bit. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next 2 hours or so. And then yeah, I'll go from there. All right, this is pretty sick. This is my favorite jewelry company. It's owned by the same guy that owns Young LA, which is like that big lifestyle gym brand. Man, look at that. Super nice. I've been trying to start dressing nicer and wearing nicer stuff. And
what are you doing?
say hi to the vlog.
No, I look awful.
It's alright. You're going in the vlog.
No, I don't want to be in the vlog. I look like trash.
It's alright. She's the reason that I gotta stay downstairs working all day. She spends all my money. It's not for you. Steak and potatoes, meal number 2. Alright, even though my back's hurting, we're gonna hit the gym. Gonna mix my pre-workout. Actually, let me show you my supplement stack here. Got the craziest subs stack. It's like pretty deep back there. All Alpha Line. I used to do work with Alpha Line, so I got a lot of their stuff. This is my pre-workout of choice, Miami Vice. It is the best flavor. Alright, 1 scoop today. Trying to do better with caffeine so I can sleep better at night. Alright, my boy Dawson's already at the gym waiting on me, so gotta bounce. Alright, headed to the gym right now. I've been super consistent with the gym the last few months and like my diet and everything. Just because like if I'm gonna keep traveling long term and like, you know, experiencing all the different like foods and like things like that, if I want to keep doing this forever, I gotta stay in shape, and I can't just like torture my body going like up and down and up and down. So I just gotta stay in a good regiment and a good routine. And honestly, I just feel miserable when I'm not in shape. Like life just is harder. I'm moodier. My brain's foggy, so I've been taking the gym a lot more serious again the last few months, and now I'm at like the best spot that I've ever been with the gym. I just have like a great relationship with food, a great relationship with working out, and I just feel healthy overall, just like good. So yeah, it really helps like keeping some sort of routine when we're gone, and like, I don't know, life gets crazy when you're traveling, so having something that's like a routine and normal feels really good. So, but yeah, I'm headed there right now. I probably won't film in the gym because I have a buddy there with me, and I don't even know what this gym's rules are on like filming and stuff like that. I've never been to this gym. It's a new gym for me. So plus like, I don't know if it's gonna add anything to this video watching me work out. So for this one, I'm not gonna film anything. But it's actually really interesting. I started this whole journey with like fitness content, which is insane. So I mean, I was going to the gym and filming my workouts and stuff, and that's literally how I got into content creation. The whole reason I bought a camera was just to make higher quality fitness content. So like, it's crazy to look back and think about, and I can't even watch those videos anymore. Like, they feel so cringy to me. I can't even like sit through them long enough to watch. But I think that's just a testament on just to start now. No matter where you're at in your journey, no matter how you feel about content, you just have to start. Because there's never been a single creator who had it all figured out before they started. They figured it out as they went. And that's how I am too. I figured it out as I went. I don't like have a huge plan moving forward. Obviously now in my journey I have more of an idea of what's coming forward, but like when you first start, you just gotta try everything that you can until you figure out what works. Like you're never gonna have it figured out when you first start, so you just need to start. Like, obviously I started in fitness content. The niche that I'm in now is so far away from fitness content, but the truth is, which is crazy, I would not be doing what I'm doing now without fitness content, which is just like insane. So it doesn't matter if you have it all figured out, just like pick something that you're passionate about at the time, start creating content around that passion, and then over time, you'll figure out the lane that you want to go in. So bump that whole idea that you have to have some sort of like plan before you start. You just gotta start filming, start editing, start posting. You have to get in the game before you ever figure out what you're doing. So that's the first step. You can literally change your life online with an online business, online content. So if you're looking for financial freedom, time freedom, you have to start posting now. Just finished lifting. My back was cooked the whole time, but still good to get inside the gym. I got checked out a new gym and it was super sick. So I low-key might start filming like some of my workouts here and there in the future. Not to be like a fitness influencer or anything, but just like if I'm gonna document my day again, I wouldn't mind like going in there to film my workouts or anything. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that in the future. But I'm headed home right now. I'm gonna spend some time with my wife tonight. Today was like sort of weird. Like, it was productive. I got stuff done, but my back was just like killing me so bad that I really couldn't sit in my chair. So I had to move to my couch, and then like sitting on my couch working was just kind of weird. I got some stuff done, but it's like, you know, when you don't have a table in front of you and you're just sitting on the couch, like, yeah, I worked on my computer, but I couldn't really get like my books out or my notebook. Like, it was just kind of weird. I made the best with what I had, but man, my back is just like killing for some reason. I need to get that back to normal. But I'm gonna do this more often, just like documenting my daily life and talking to the camera. Even though this might be like sort of boring, I just wanna like document things to look back on, and if people watch, people watch. If not, then I'm just gonna keep doing it for me, because this is honestly cool to be able to like talk to a camera and like actually keep my real memories. And especially when the trips start rolling around again, or like we start vlogging the trips, I think it'd be cool to have like real authentic memories, and not just like the beautiful looking, you know, views and like shots and all that. Actually be like real memories where me and my wife are interacting, and you know, just like the more authentic experience of our trips. Especially like when we start having kids and stuff, it'll be cool to show them like our real life like experiences, I guess, and not just the beautiful parts of our trips, you know, like the good, the bad, and just the boring even. I think would be really cool to have actually documented. So I'm really excited. It's gonna be a dope journey. But I appreciate you guys watching this stuff. It means the world. I'm just really excited for this journey moving forward.